Welcome to Let's Curate's monthly webcast. Every month we feature one artisan from within our network and discuss various aspects related to their passion. Our lovely guest today is Maia, founder of Ming Designs, who specializes in lifestyle ceramics. I chanced upon Maia's work way back in 2018. It's unbelievable. And we kickstarted a conversation. I was enthralled by her award-winning designs and I couldn't get my eyes off them. So I reached out to her and she was fantastic on the conversation. So Ming has been part of our Artisan network since the beginning. Her products can be found under our Best of America section on our homepage, specifically under the Gifts of the Globe or the Home Essentials section. Maia, it is so lovely to see you today.
And likewise, really nice to be here and to see you as well, your smiling face. Oh, thank goodness for Zoom.
I know, indeed. So I wanted to kind of get our discussion started by just giving our audience an insight into your background. Can you shed some light on it? What kind of kickstarted your entire journey on the subject of ceramics?
Well, I spent a lot of time in the art room when I was in middle school and high school. We actually had a pottery wheel, a kick wheel back there, and my best friend and I practically lived there. We taught ourselves how to use it. But later I studied product design at Stanford, and I worked for many years as an art director and as a product and graphic designer. And so since I'm half Swedish and half Chinese, and I've lived a little bit all over, I was born in Hawaii, I was raised in Rome, and now I live outside of Barcelona. I've had a pretty wide blend of cultural inspirations in my life. And I started making ceramics again when my kids were small and we were living in a little village in upstate New York. And I took a parent-child class with them, and it was really amazing after having been away from working in clay for so long. It completely reignited my passion for ceramics.
You know, I know what you mean, because it's been, this idea for Let's Curate was in my mind for years and years and years. And in between, you know, I had kids, I had my job and all of those things. And there was this one moment when I was, you know, I had traveled someplace, I had traveled specifically to Colombia with my then 3-year-old son. And he saw something which was a painting of an animal, and it was exquisite. I've never seen that before. It was in a little village somewhere in Colombia. And then when we were leaving, he said, you know, I feel sad that I'll never get to see this painting again. And that just kind of, there was a light bulb in my mind. And I said, you know what, I've been thinking about this all these years, and maybe this is the time to kickstart my vision too. So it's interesting how, you know, there are certain catalyst factors that just kind of push you forward. And for you, clearly, it was that pottery class that you took with your son too. So that's interesting to know.
No. I mean, it just, to be honest, I did a couple mom-kid pottery classes with them, and then I was like, oh, I need this more than you do. We have so many activities. And then I started taking a lot of pottery classes, and it's very addictive. You know, I can imagine pottery wheel at home and a kiln and set up a studio, and you make more and more ceramics, and then, well, people want to buy them, and I'm more of a designer at heart. So then I started making things in series that could be, you know, reproduced instead of just making one-off. And now I have a kind of a balance between the two. You know, I have a lot of products that I've designed because, you know, I think of myself fundamentally as a product designer at heart. But I also have, you know, artisan pieces that I just make at home in my studio, and that are just give me a chance to go back in there and get my hands dirty and really touch things, which if you spend your whole time running a business, you could be on your computer all day long.
Right. I can imagine. So what specifically about ceramics is, you know, excites you? Is it the process? Is it the fact that you've dabbled in that in the past and you know, love working with the textures? Can you specify what is it about it that's like your thing?
Well, there is something really tactile about both the process of making as well as using ceramics that it grounds me in the real world. And so the product design side of me, you know, wants to make functional objects like teapots or tableware, but then there's sort of the messy, artsy side of me that just likes to, you know, get in there and play. But it's a very satisfying thing to make things with your hands. And I think maybe both the act of making and using ceramics is more tactile than a lot of other artisan forms.
Mhm. And, you know, when on your, your business mission statement, if I may call that, you typically talk about designing lifestyle ceramics. Can you define that the way you think of it, and how did you kind of zone in on that particular area within ceramics?
Well, I think that goes a little bit back into feeling grounded in the real world. I think especially in our society today, which is so digital, and we humans need to find ways to reconnect to physical things. And so there's this quote that I really like that I actually used in a talk I gave in Istanbul in November. That's by Marina Abramovich, and it states this really well. It says, "We live in a world of constant distraction, where taking the time to connect to ourselves is becoming more and more difficult." And for me, I think in a way, this pandemic is forcing everyone to slow down and reevaluate what's really important, which maybe that's been less hard on me than other people, because that's kind of been my message for a while, to focus on simple pleasures in life and to take joy from small rituals and senses, have a little whimsy, pause for a moment of reflection. I feel like we're all sitting at home pausing and having lots of and reflecting about things.
And I totally understand what you're saying. It's a forced pause, and you have to kind of make the best of it. You can either sit about it and whine and complain and say, oh, this is not how I wanted things to be, or you can go out and create and come up with something new, which is exciting for you, and which could probably be something that you would continue doing even when the world hopefully normalizes. So I understand that sentiment. So it's interesting, you currently live in Barcelona. Why did you decide on that city? And was it because there was a major influence in your work, or some other reason?
It was a little bit random. There are a lot of people who end up, a lot of expats who end up in Barcelona because they just sort of come here for a little while and check things out. And here we have been here nearly 10 years. I guess once the kids got started in, a school system and everything, we wanted to be able to see them through it. But it's also just a really nice lifestyle. Mm-hmm. To be living in Europe. I did grow up in Europe. I grew up in Italy. So there's some of that. But we were living in upstate New York. My husband is Belgian, and he was just like, I've had it. We can't raise our kids exclusively in the US. I was like, oh, okay. I had thought we were going to move back to California. And then we just couldn't really decide. We went to a lot of places, and we were trying to figure out where we should settle, and we didn't completely see eye to eye on that. And then we had some friends who were in Barcelona. We stopped by for a visit. I was like, Barcelona's really great. Why don't we just try it out for a little while? And here we are still. I mean, I don't know how long I'll be here, but it's been a good 10 years so far.
Do you feel like, I've been to Barcelona, and it's such an exquisite city, and the architectural marvels, it's just, you're walking down the street and you see Gaudi's fabulous wonders, and you're like, wow, you're like walking amidst magic. Has it influenced your work in a certain way, or is that something that you just kind of, was that one of the appealing factors?
Well, I mean, Barcelona certainly does have a really strong ceramic history with all the Gaudi and Modernista architecture. And that also derives a lot of inspiration from nature, which, a lot of artists, myself included, we feel inspired by nature. And I work with an amazing model maker here who's taught me a lot about slip casting ceramics. So one of the things I really love about going to his workshop is that he also makes molds for historic preservation projects. So he makes molds for, the Hospital de San Pau and the Sagrada Familia. And I go into his shop, and I'm like, oh, here's something. And he's like, yeah, it's going to go over there on that corner of the building. I'm like, oh, ah. And that is pretty cool. Because I feel like, we're all almost subliminally influenced by the people we meet and the things we encounter along the way. And I would say that Barcelona has definitely impacted me in that sense, though, it's not always easy to say pinpoint exactly how.
Right. What can we expect you from the future after the pause? what can we expect from Maya Ming Designs? I'm so excited to hear. This is my favorite part of the interview.
Oh, well, I'm always trying to come up with products that, are adding delight to simple pleasures. And right now we're all focusing on washing our hands a lot. So I've been prototyping some self-draining soap dishes and soap dispensers and, other ceramic products to move forward with our kind of new norm.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the other things I've been doing is I've been writing a lot of haiku, which I think
Oh,
really sort of they're very easy because, it's only 3 lines. It's not that
right.
hard. It doesn't have to rhyme. And, and they're very nice. Writing a haiku is a really nice way to sort of pause and self-reflect on a particular place and moment in time.
Right. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Maya. We will be posting this webcast on all our social media channels very soon. So everyone, please stay tuned. Until next time, Maya, it's been an absolute pleasure.
I'm going to get my cat and I'll read you my last haiku, okay?
Absolutely. We would love to hear that.
Oh, Mika. He's my
Oh my God. How
He was in
cute.
my office with me. So this is a haiku that I wrote not too long ago. It's a fresh pot of tea. The cat curls into my lap. No more work today.
How exquisite. Thank you so much, Maya. You seriously, I feel myself easing down. I was just, running around and yelling at my kids before the interview, and I'm just like, I'm feeling very zen right now. All thanks to you.
Oh, good. Well, go put your feet up and have a cup of tea.
Thank you so much, Maya. We'll be in touch, and absolutely lovely to see you. And I hope to see you in person very soon.
Yes. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.